be compared to it. The largest one that came through here was nicknamed Maggie, and she's about a football field size in length, followed by 5 stories tall. It took 8 cords of wood to build her. She had 3 different boilers, and 50 men had to run her every single day. It's a lot of work. So dredges like Maggie are responsible here for all the piles of rocks that you see on the roadside of the train here. These are called tailings, and they are left behind from the dredges as they go through. They scoop up all the rocks and sift through everything and dump out deposits that don't have gold in them. And then they can go back through and sift the gold out better that way. You'll notice in the piles of tailings over there that there are 4 to 5 different colors of rocks. That's a really good indication if you're looking for gold somewhere that there might be gold there if you find a lot of different colors in the soil. Also, mica, garnets, and quartz are most commonly found with gold, so if you find any one of those 3, there could potentially be gold in that area as well. We get asked a lot if these tailings could be remined, if there was some gold maybe left over in them that the people didn't get out. And the answer is yes, there's a possibility, but however, the tailings here all seem to be on land that is claimed, so you can get in a lot of trouble if you're trespassing on land that's claimed by somebody else. So unless you know for sure, it's not a very good idea to go explore and to go panning. And also during this time period, different racial presences were here, and it was very common during that time period to allow segregation and not very nice treatment to other people. So the majority of the groups that came here that were of different ethnicity was Chinese. There were a lot of people from China that came over to mine. And these people took up about 1/3 of the population at the time, so there was a lot of them here. And what they were allowed to do, they were not able to mine in the same way the white Europeans were. So the dredges would come through, leave all these tailings behind, and then these tailings are what the immigrants got to go back through. It was long, tedious work, but it's a good thing they did because the main 5 years of the gold rush, there was estimated to be about $30 to $40 million worth of gold pulled out of here. And because the tailings were remined and gone through again, they picked up an additional $10 million through that. So it's a good thing they went back through. The different ethnicities would also do other jobs that normally other people did not want to do, such as laundry shops. So they would open these shops and they wouldn't change the water out from the start of the day to the end of the day. So if you needed laundry done, you should probably go right when they open so you get clean, fresh water. But by the end of the day, they would basically have this laundry sludge left. And they'd take this sludge and they would pan it because during that time, the most common way to pay for things with gold was in gold powder or dust. And gold powder and dust, as the name implies, is very fine. It also sticks to things very easily, like clothing. So at the end of the day, they would take the dirty laundry water and pan it because a lot of times there was some gold dust stuck to the clothing. On the road side of the train, you can see how high the bank is there. That's how high the water used to be coming through this area. It used to be up that high. So now, because the dredges have come through, there's only that little stream of gulch down there left. We get asked a lot of times why this place is still called Alder Gulch. Well, it was named Alder Gulch when gold was first discovered here back in the 1860s, because when the first people were here, there were a lot of gulch trees around the area. And unfortunately, a campfire got out of hand, and it was very hot, dry summer, so it burned up the majority of the gulch trees. So now it's just called the Alder Gulch area minus the trees. This place is also commonly referred to as the 14-mile city because Alder Gulch does span across 14 miles. And during that time period, there were 9 different cities that popped up along the way. Coming up on the right here is going to be Central City. This is one of 3 still remaining. The other 2 are Nevada and Virginia, and they were the largest cities during that time, and that's why they are still here as well. Gold like we use dollars and coins today. Yep. So here was Central City, and this was used as a juncture until about the 1970s when some people vandalized it, and then they just boarded it up, and now it's on display here. other cities are no longer standing is they were thought to be built on top of soil that could have contained gold. So when the dredges came through, they just let the dredges basically destroy them on their way through because they weren't as interested in preserving the towns as getting the gold underneath them. The main reason we do have the towns left today is because of Charlie and his wife Sue Bovey. They came here about the 40s and they cared a lot about preservation, so they dedicated the majority of their lives to it. And they spent a lot of money and time to make sure the buildings were going to be available and well enough for future generations to be able to see. Charlie Bovey was a very rich man, and he came from a family of millers. These millers eventually became what is known as today's General Mills. That's all the cereal and cracker companies. So they were pretty rich when they got here, needless to say. And it was nice of them to use their money for things such as preservation. How Virginia City itself got its name. During this time period, it was the time period of the Civil War, and there were a lot of people here from both sides supporting. So the Confederates during this time really wanted to name the town Varina City after Jefferson Davis's wife Varina, who was the Confederate president at that time. Of course, the Union supporters did not want it to be named after a Confederate's wife, so they opposed. The name Varina was submitted, and right before it was turned in, a Union judge crossed out the name Varina and wrote the name Virginia because Virginia was supported by the Union state at that time.
That was good class.
There was a lot of crime that happened due to all the gold in this area. A lot of people got in disputes about land or claims and things like that. And there were quite a bit of people who robbed people on their way in and out of town as well. There was one sheriff in this town, and his name was Sheriff Henry Plummer. Original sheriff of Bannock during this time, but he decided to claim this area under his jurisdiction as well. And what happened with him and his deputies is that people would tell him when they were going to leave town to try to ensure their safety, and he would in turn tell the deputies, and then the deputies would go to that location and rob the people. So needless to say, they were a pretty corrupt form of police work here. So the people decided that they needed their own form of justice, so the vigilantes were created. And a lot of people think that the vigilantes were just as corrupt as Sheriff Plummer and his gang, but others think that they really did try to help. You may have seen the number around town, the 3777 anywhere. That number, not everybody knows the exact meaning of it, and we probably will never know the exact meaning, but most people agree that it was associated with the vigilantes, and it was seen as some sort of a warning. The policemen, their vehicles, the patrol vehicles of today, they still have the 3777 on them around this area, as well as their uniforms. So the few different explanations for this number. The first, if you add them all together separately, so 3 plus 7 plus 7 plus 1 more 7, that was equal to 24. That meant that you had 24 hours to leave your home or the vigilantes were going to come to get you. Some people take this a step further and say that if you did not leave within those 24 hours, that the vigilantes would dig you a grave site with those dimensions, so 3 feet wide by 7 feet long by 77 inches deep. The most common thought theory is that this number was of the number of people associated with the vigilante crew. So they were thought to be 3 leaders, followed by 7 sub-leaders, followed by 77 other men. The majority of the vigilante crew, were made up of the Mason clan. Now, this wasn't a bloodline clan, it was more of a secret society. And they did have a lot of different secret symbols and meanings to things. So that's why we don't know for sure what their number of 3777 meant for sure. See the V on top of the hill on the roadside over there? We get asked what that means a lot, and we think it stands for either Virginia City or Vigilante, either way. Maybe the Confederate supporters still think it stands for Verena. You can see there's kind of a line of trees on the left-hand side of the hill there, and some people think that is the remains of the Bozeman Trail in which people use to trek over the mountains here. But no one knows for sure if that's actually where it crossed or not. It's just a very common theory. As we're coming around the bend here back into Virginia City, we ask that you do please remain seated until the train has come to a completed stop. And you'll know you're safe to get off when Erica gives us a very loud toot of the horn. At that point, if you can undo the chains in front of you yourself, you're free to do so, but only after that point. If you need help, we will be around to help you as well. There's plenty more fun to be had in Virginia City. There are 16 buildings open for display. These buildings are in their original locations, although the stores may have changed over the years. One of the best ones, that, in my opinion, is on the left-hand side of the street. It's entitled the McGovern Store. This was run by two sisters. After the first sister passed away, the second sister decided that she couldn't run it without her. So legend says she left a note on the door that said out to lunch and that she'd be back. She locked up the doors when she left and she never came back. And the Bovies bought it shortly after that. So the really cool thing about it is if you go look at it, the way it's on display was the way it was left back in 1940. Plenty of places to get some food around Virginia City here too. The majority are on the right-hand side of the street. There are a few on the left-hand side of the street, including the ice cream shop and the candy shop up there. So some people think the vigilantes were bad and other people think they were good. They kind of created themselves to fight the bad guys, but they became kind of corrupt and bad too at the same time. So there wasn't a real determined good side, bad side during that time period. Just kind of greedy people over gold and politics. So. Alrighty, and if you look to the left or right hand side of the train, you'll be able to see the little waterfall that Erica talked about earlier a little better. Starting right here, it goes on that side too. It's kind of a cool sight.
Wow, back where we started, you sit.
We'll turn around and see there.
If you are riding right back with us at the 3 o'clock train, you're more than welcome to stay seated. If you're coming back at a different time, we ask that you do please arrive 5 to 10 minutes before your departure time to ensure your seat here. We thank you so much for riding the Alder Gulch Short Line today with us and hope that you have had a wonderful time. And I hope you thoroughly enjoy the rest of your day here in Virginia City or Nevada City if you go back down there. Thank you very much, folks.
We didn't get to see their side of it.